Hey Central Coast Reefers, what's going on, guys? I know that picture in that thread that I posted is pretty epic with all the Apex gear the company I work for ordered. So I'm gonna show you guys in this video. This is a trial video just for you guys because I know Alan, you said that you wanted to you didn't own an Apex, or for the people that don't own Apexes, like what it can do and how and just kind of like overview the whole system. With this video, I'm gonna make it short, or well, I mean it might not be short, but I'm gonna make it do one thing basically. I'm gonna show you guys kind of the power of the breakout box. So what the breakout box is it basically hook up switches to it, and it will tell commands to outlets. So if you have a float switch saying something is too full, or a cabinet light or something, you can actually have it send an alarm to your email. So if you don't want anybody accessing your sump, or if you don't want anybody accessing your cabinet and you want to be notified, you could have an electric switch, which I'll do a video on in the future. If you can set it while you go away, turn if switch is open, you can have it send an email alert to your email, and also send a text to your phone. Or you can do, which what I'll be showing you today, is installing a float switch on your skimmer lid, which will basically, when programmed correctly, it'll turn your skimmer pump off as soon as your collection cup is full. So that's what I'm going to be showing you guys today. Alright, so this is my skimmer lid. I'm going with an ATB 840 skimmer. I just want to do a quick shout out for Chad at ATB Protein Skimmers. He great customer service, and these skimmers are awesome. Pretty much once you go with a quality skimmer, and not a Chinese one, you'll never go back. So pretty much ATB all the way. But yeah, so here's the collection cup for my protein skimmer. How we're going to do this is we're going to get a float switch. You can find these pretty much on Amazon, eBay. They're pretty inexpensive. I mean, like literally $3, $2, and you can get these float switches. And basically, you can do this with any protein skimmer. It's a very simple, very simple project, fun project, and a pretty beneficial project. So if your skimmer decides to go crazy for some reason, it's not spewing skimmate into your tank. So basically what you'll do is this skimmer has actually holes in it that go through on the inside of the collection cup. So what you do, if you didn't, I think most skimmers have this, but if you didn't have a skimmer with the holes, you would just go ahead and drill one in the diameter of the float switch, to get that where the nut screws on in between. So basically what you're going to do is you'll take the nut off of the float switch. The float switch with the nut off. You'll go ahead and put the wires through the hole that you have in your skimmer. So here I pulled the wires through the hole, and the float switch is now on the inside of the skimmer lid. So next step would be to secure the float switch in by putting the nylon nut that's included with the float switch on the skimmer lid. Alright, now that that's on there, it's secure, and the float switch will move freely up and down. So next, we're going to put the skimmer cup back on, the lid back up on the skimmer cup, and mount it on the skimmer. So now we have the skimmer cup back up on the skimmer with the float switch installed, as you can see. So when you have skimmate come over and come up, it will hit this float switch, causing the switch to float and turning the outlet. So once that command goes, it'll have once the float switch is technically what you would call is open, the skimmer pump will be turned off via the Apex when you program in the outlet. This is the Neptune Systems breakout box. This is an essential piece of equipment for my Apex. This is what I'm going to use right now to tell the skimmer pump to turn off if there's too much, if the level of the skimmate gets too high. This has, the nice thing about the one Neptune Systems breakout box is it has the ability to run 6 switches. So you can run essentially 6 different float switches or magnetic switches or any type of switch that you may need to tell any outlet or profile what it needs to do at any given time. Alright, so I hooked up the float switch wires to the breakout box. You have one wire that goes to your ground, and you have one wire that goes to float switch channel number 1. So basically, on the Apex command, it'll say float switch 1 open or switch 1 closed. Now that we have the protein skimmer hooked up to the float switch to the breakout box, I'm going to show you guys how this kind of works on your Apex dashboard. So right here we have the Apex dashboard that's basically what you'd go through when you're going on your Apex, accessing it via your IP address for the Apex. Another thing you can do is use your Fusion account. So this is your Fusion dashboard where you can access it remotely from anywhere in the world. So right now we have with the Apex dashboard, you can see the different profiles that I have. So right there we have SK full, which is basically the switch that I have. So when it's open, when it's open, it'll tell the pump to turn off, and when it's closed, it won't do anything. You can see all the different switches that are available on the dashboard for all the different things you can do. But right now we're just going to utilize the SK full switch. So I'm going to show you how to program the skimmer pump outlet to work with the breakout box and the float switch. So you're going to go to configuration and go down to outlet setup. Click on outlet setup and it will take you to this page. You're going to want to choose the outlet you're obviously going to use for your skimmer. So right now I have my desk lamp hooked up to outlet number 5. So we're going to kind of simulate how this is going to work. So if what we'll do is if the skimmer is not full, the light is going to stay off. That's my desk lamp. Here's the profile. And then if the skimmer cup is full, we're going to have the light turn on. So right here is the code for everything. We're going advanced. The control type is advanced because we're using a float switch, and we're going to be controlling the pump. So fallback off, what that means is if there's any problem with the outlet, the skimmer setting is just going to automatically turn off. So that way the skimmer isn't running in case the sump is dry or something else, some other reason. Set on basically says the skimmer pump is going to be permanently on. So no matter what, or I mean, normal function, this skimmer is on. So right here is where you program your code. If SK full closed, then what you want it to do. So in our event, SK closed means that the skimming is not full. So we are going to have the outlet turn off if the skimming is full. So everything has to be made sure it's typed in correctly. So codes like closed and off are going to have to be capitalized, and there should be a capital letter on the first on every word that you write. So if SK open, which means the skimmer is full, we're going to have the desk lamp turn on. So we're going to go down to the bottom and we are going to update this outlet. So now we want to go back to the dashboard. Okay, now that we're back on the dashboard, you can come down here and see that SK full is closed, meaning in which the float switch is down, so there's nothing in the skim 8, so the light is off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push the skimmer float switch up as if it were floating for a high skim 8. So now turns this light on and it says skim full open. So now we're going to drop it down and it turns off the light and turns skimmer full closed. So light on would represent turning the skimmer pump off. So at that point, with the skimmer float switch up, it will turn the pump off. Down, turns off the light. Alright guys, hope you guys liked my first video. I should have more to come, but this is just kind of a trial run. I'll try and do like a fusion sort of a video here to show you guys the fusion dashboard, but I like using the standard Apex dashboard. Just a personal preference. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy.